gosh, hey, sorry guys. As you can see, we are not at Westridge Middle School because obviously the coronavirus has got us. All right, but today is Monday, and on Mondays we do current events, so things are going to look a little bit different today as we go into our e-learning. A couple of things is it is still Monday, and we're going to try to keep things as normal as possible. So on Mondays we also do our goals and gratitude. So the first thing you have to do is your warm up, or also known as a
goals. Bell ringer.
Or a bell ringer. Either way, okay, you need to complete that. Then we're going to go through this entire awesome current events today. And then you are going to write a paragraph explaining what you learned and maybe some adding a little extra information into there so we know that you're paying attention today. All right, so starting it, let's start with the news. The biggest local news is actually this. We are losing one of our biggest entertainment places. Actually, one place that I love to go to and beat Mr. Bombeck in.
Not a top three.
Super Bowl, the Fun Center, is closing down after 25 years in Grand Island. They had a whole bunch of renovations. They had go-karts, they had sand volleyball, they had mini golf, and obviously bowling. And that is no longer going to be an industry here. Do you know what it's going to be?
I do not. What is it going to be?
It's going to turn into a car museum, all right, which is quite interesting. But luckily, there is a local person who bought all the equipment, so we're hoping that actually it's going to turn into a bowling alley, some other location in the city. But all the equipment was bought by a local business owner. But it is going to be a car museum starting very soon.
Politics. Democratic primaries. Joe Biden, former vice president.
Heard of him.
Good. 2 weeks ago, right, he was last place. Didn't even get a delegate in Iowa. Okay? Fast forward, he's in the lead. Kicking Sanders' butt. Sanders, being the old man he is still sticking through it.
Joe Biden's pretty old, dude.
Joe Biden is pretty old. But coronavirus hit, so how is this going to impact our politics? I guess only time is going to tell.
Next thing we're going to be doing is actually we're going to be doing it every week. It's called Mount Rushmore. Who's on Mount Rushmore?
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Thomas Jefferson.
George Washington, and your favorite,
Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, so these are considered great presidents. And so we thought we'll take the Mount Rushmore idea and then put that towards, I don't know, things like best road trip snacks. So today is going to be all about best road trip snacks. So I'm going to actually start out with the first one. So I'm going with my first overall draft pick. If I'm going on a major road trip, all right, I'm going with beef jerky.
That's a good pick. That's going to make
beef
my
jerky.
list later
So that's
on.
my first overall pick. Mount Rushmore. You go on a road trip, gotta have some beef jerky.
Regular, teriyaki.
I like regular. I like the peppered version. Teriyaki is good. Honestly, there's not a bad beef jerky.
My number one pick, Twizzlers. I'm not talking about the pull-aparts. I'm not talking about the bites. I'm talking about the regular Twizzlers. You can't do a road trip without the Twizzlers.
As long as it's not black licorice, I'm in.
I agree. That's gross. That's made by the devil. Number two, Munchies. You're talking the goods of Doritos, Cheetos, Sun Chips, and pretzels. You can't go wrong with Munchies.
Yeah, those are pretty good. They're not on my list, but they're pretty good. Okay, number two overall pick for me, double stuffed Oreos. I mean, Oreos are good, okay, but it's all about the double stuff. You're going on a road trip. I don't want to have to like conserve and think about, do I have just a couple snacks? You get the whole thing of Oreos. All right, and you can just ball out and eat all the Oreos you want. It's a road trip. You're on vacation.
You know who else likes Oreos?
Who's that?
Keith Krolikowski.
Interesting. Okay, and then my last pick that I have is actually going to be Gardettos. Okay, it's all about those brown rye chips. If you think Chex Mix is wrong, you are wrong. All right, Gardettos is where it's at. Brown rye chips, all right, for days. Great road trip snack.
And my last pick has to be Skittles. I really don't care what flavor it is, just something to chew on. Delicious. I mean, my wife eats them all anyway, so I really don't get them, but they're definitely up there. But then, like I said, rounding off, beef jerky is definitely on Mount Rushmore.
So those are our picks. What are your guys' picks? Here we have another local news. One of the biggest industries and employers in our city is JBS. Okay, many of your own family members probably work there, or at least you might know someone that works there. Now, the debate is, as everything in the world is closing down, schools obviously, should JBS close down? And the big debate is, first off, many of your parents and relatives, they have to work, but they have kids at home, and that's very difficult. Now, what the government has come out is that JBS, in supplying meat into our entire country, is a integral part of the food chain supply. And so actually the government does not want JBS to close down, because if they close down, they worry about not having enough beef to provide into the market. It's a very interesting debate happening right here in Grand Island.
What do you call 911 for?
Murder?
What you don't call 911 for?
What's that?
When you run out of toilet paper. Ladies and gentlemen, I know hunting for toilet paper is a task. Have you went hunting for toilet paper yet?
No, but luckily my wife has.
That's good. Okay? You cannot find it anywhere. However, a county in Oregon is literally calling 911 when they run out of toilet paper. They had to make an announcement across the city that that is not something to call 911 for. I know times are getting desperate and it's scary. For example, if the supermarket's closed, we might have to hunt for food. Yeah, I'm really scared about that. I don't know where Doritos live.
We're living in a world where it's kind of scary. And obviously, it is. All right? There's so many things that are uncertain. But our job as teachers here is to try to show you things are going to be okay. And not everything is bad. For instance, if you are going out supporting businesses, unfortunately, we don't have one of these here, but the Cheesecake Factory, during this difficult time, if you are ordering online for carryout, you can go and pick it up, and they're going to give you a free slice of cheesecake for every order. So that's what I'm talking about, making some good things out of terrible circumstances right now. Free cheesecake with the order of any meal at the Cheesecake Factory. That's what I'm talking about.
That's good cheesecake.
Our next segment is going to be probably one of my personal favorites. It's the dad joke of the day. Mr. Bombeck, we're both teachers, right?
Yes.
I love our job. I'm actually very glad that I have this job. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because if I was a plumber, all of my work would just go down the drain.
It's sports time. All right. The NFL. It's been a crazy time. The NFL Players Agreement have came to an agreement over next year. We are lucky that we are going to get one extra game of football. They are now going to play 17 weeks.
That's good, especially in a world where everything is canceled right now. So give us a little bit of hope for the future. No basketball, no hockey, no NBA, no March Madness. Where are the sports?
NFL free agency did happen, though, right? Even though I might be sad, a lot of players are on the move. You got Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. You got Phillip Rivers going to the Colts. You have Melvin Gordon going to the Broncos. You have the best running back in the league, Todd Gurley, going to the Falcons. A lot of things have happened. And you might have had the stupidest trade in NFL history. David Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins. No bueno.
Last current events of the day. I know many of you are very sad. Okay, but there's a real debate. As we just had our sports segment, we learned that there's many sports that are canceled. Right now, the debate is for the college athletes if they should get another year of eligibility. Normally, you get 4 years of eligibility, right, and then you're done. So people just started spring sports like baseball, and they already lost their year of eligibility, even though they only played a handful of games. And so there's a lot of information coming out. They're going to try to give all spring athletes a full year. So if you were a senior this year, you could come back again next year for another year. The bigger debate is, do you allow winter sports athletes to get another year to compete in college athletics? They played the majority of the season, but they didn't have their championships, their conference championships, and obviously the national championships. And this goes from all levels, all right, Division II, Division I, and even some of the other NAIA schools. So there's a lot of debates going on what to do with eligibility across the college athletics landscapes.
Monday, and we do our goals and gratitudes. It's our time to share what ours are. So, Mr. Kruger, what are your goals and gratitudes for this week?
Honestly, my number one goal is that we have a smooth start. When I say we, I mean also you guys, as we transition to the e-learning phase. All right, I'm hoping for high participation. I'm hoping for people to do what they're supposed to. We're giving you freedom, and I'm hoping that this can be a very successful chance for both you and me and the students that we work with.
My goal this week is to establish good routines. Okay, I'm one that will put it off to the last minute if I can't. So I need to make sure that I have a good place and I have a time that I'm going to put towards your schoolwork, my schoolwork, and making sure that we can be successful at e-learning. I'm thankful for a new furnace. Last night, my house got down to 58 degrees. Okay, I was cold, so imagine my daughter getting a new one today. Pretty pumped.
That's good stuff. I'm grateful for, as we live in a world where things are kind of scary, I have a healthy family. Things are going well there. And then I'm really, really hopeful as this week progresses, the weather looks like it's supposed to be nice. Getting outside for a walk. Keep our social distancing, all right? But getting my family out for a walk is going to be something I'm definitely going to be grateful for as this week goes on. Last thing we want to do is give you guys a little bit of advice. Maybe you're feeling a little nervous about this whole e-learning thing. Luckily, Mr. Bombeck and I are not too far removed from taking online college classes. I'm actually still doing it right now, working on my master's. All right, so here's a couple things that are super important for you to be successful as you do this. All right, my biggest piece of advice that I have for you is pick a time to do this. Now, you have more freedom. All right, if you are going to be up later at night, those things, it means you're sleeping more in the morning, okay? That's okay for right now. But what you have to understand is that means maybe from 1 to 5 o'clock or 1 to 4 or whatever long it takes to get all our stuff done, that's homework time, all right? You put the video games away, you put those things away, and you devote a certain time every single day and stick to that as we're doing this e-learning.
My one piece of advice is you need to pick a location in your house that's going to make you successful for learning, right? Don't be in your bedroom where no one's holding you accountable. Your TV, your phone are there. Don't be in the living room in front of the TV. Don't be in front of the video games. Pick like the kitchen table. Pick the office. Somewhere where you can go and do schoolwork, right? Distractions are going to be your worst enemy at this time. Remember, less distractions, the faster you can get it done, the more free time you can get at the end of the day.
Sometimes the best thing to do is find the most boring place to be to get your stuff done. In college, I went to the library every time because when I was in my house with my brothers and my roommates, I couldn't get anything done. There's TV on, there's video games being played, there's food, there's all these extra distractions, right? Find your spot, like he said, usually a boring spot away from distractions to get those things done. I have a lot of faith. We have great students here at Westridge. I think you guys are going to probably enjoy maybe some of this freedom and flexibility. And so we're looking to see it from our side and see how you guys can do. If you ever have any questions, concerns, we're obviously here for you. We can chat with you. We can do a Google Hangout, a Zoom, or any other type of talking or emails. We'll respond to all these things. So we're here for you guys. Hopefully this current events today has made you feel a little bit more like we're back in our classroom. All right. Thanks, guys.
Go Cougs.
See ya. Guys, hope you enjoyed our video. Just wanted to let you know, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Smash it!
And the likes. We'll see you guys later. Until next week.